Hi, I'm Matt Black, going to talk you through audiovisual scratching within VJamm. So many years ago I spent ages trying to learn to scratch, nearly drove my mates around the twist, but I did learn to do it fairly well, not up to the standard of say Kid Koala, but a little bit. With all respect to the vinyl lovers and the vinyl scratch DJs, I'm interested in taking those techniques and grafting them onto the 21st century technology, and in particular audiovisual real-time composition, mixing and scratching. So with the help of coders CamArt, the guys who code VJamm, we did actually get audiovisual scratching working quite well a few years ago, but it was just in what we call an applet, a small piece of software that did just that. And since then we've been developing VJamm and wanted to get it working within VJamm. Recently we managed to take a significant step forward in doing that, and we'll probably claim that we have got the first audiovisual system, scratch system working. As I often say, no one invents anything, we just build on what's gone before, but I'm fairly pleased with our progress in realising audiovisual scratch technology, and I'd like to give you a quick demonstration of that using the next incarnation of the Coldcut live setup, which I've done a run through of describing the link between the DJ mixer, and moving on from the AV5 now to a better mixer, the Roland V4, which is a nice new mixer. Roland showing that they're aware of the new area of performance and composition, mixing video with sound, natural evolution for the electronic musician. So enough respect to Roland for bringing that out. It would have been better if they'd actually incorporated sound within this mixer, but it's just a video mixer. But we can get around that, and the way we do that is to utilize the MIDI control facility of this V4. All the functions here can be under MIDI control. Roland, coming from the musical instrument background, felt, as we have in our development of VJamm, that MIDI represents the most useful common standard for control of these kind of electronic devices. So this crossfader here, which crossfades between two video sources, we have under the control of the DJ mixer crossfader. This second crossfader below has been modified to give a MIDI output. So that simply sends out a controller, and that value of the controller goes from 1 to 127, and that MIDI control information then controls the V4. So with that I have the ability to chop in and out, to mix in and out audiovisual material, and let's just show roughly how that works by playing a sample from VJamm here, or perhaps for a transformer style effect. Okay. Meanwhile, back at the scratching, this unit here is called a DM2. It's a toy really, but a useful one. It's designed for working with a sort of DJ software called Mixman, quite a cool little program. Came out a few years ago, and at the time there was a chap who was helping us be an agent for VJamm, and he was inventing this hardware interface for Mixman, and I showed him the idea of scratching, and they incorporated it within this unit. Now that was useless to us for VJamm until about a year ago, when an excellent guy called P Doom, enough respect to P Doom for inventing the DM2 to MIDI converter program, and you can get these DM2 controllers on eBay for about £50 or something like that, which is not bad because it's quite a useful little controller. It has 2 sets of 8 triggers.
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Even a crossfader, and even transform buttons, which can be used quite effectively to do gating. The crossfader and the transformer are a bit plasticky and Mickey Mouse, but the idea is nice. But the most important thing are the triggers here, a few buttons which can be assigned to send out various commands like trails on and off, loop on and off, control various VJamm functions, and these 2 wheels. Now, we've still got a bit more work to do to get this working as best as we think it could, but it does basically work. So if I take a sample, trigger a sample from VJamm like this. That's actually, I would say, an example of an audiovisual breakbeat. We got this excellent clip off the net of Tony Royster, 12-year-old phenomenal talent, playing a nice breakbeat there, video breakbeat, and then stuck on this Master of the Flying Guillotine from the beginning of the film, on the beginning of that clip, so that, like with DJ Food, like with a nice breakbeat, you've got a good stab to actually scratch something in that's percussive and good sounding. So if I'm just triggering it like this, I can cut it in and out with a crossfader. But that's cool, but it's not scratching. So Russell, the main programmer on VJamm, and I devised a scratching controller for VJamm. Okay, so the way we fixed it is that this button in the center sends out a message that turns VJamm scratching on, and then this wheel provides a controller output. It's actually the speed of the wheel that we're using to scrub back and forth through the sample, actually to change the pitch of the sample. So we can see how that works by using this Master G sample here. So I'll fire it off, let it play through, activate the scratching. So you can see actually able to scratch that sample, that audiovisual sample in VJamm using the scratch ring. Okay, so that's the basic scratching mode of VJamm. Now, like a scratch DJ, that's pretty useless unless your other hand is doing something to control that signal. So, as we said, this double crossfader here takes the audio signal, controls the video signal going into the V4 so that I can actually gate that signal and do it a bit more like a scratch DJ. So once again, I play this sample. Okay, so my scratching technique, especially my crossfader hand, needs a bit of practice, but you get the basic idea. So we're going to develop the scratching algorithm further. There's a number of ways in which we can improve it, but that gives the basic idea. Audiovisual scratching back and forth through the frames and the waveform of a sample in VJamm, and using a hardware controller, for instance the DM2, to do that. So, next generation audiovisual scratch technology, bring it on. I'm sure there's a lot of scratch DJs out there who can do this a lot better than me, so come and have a go.